we're moving away from a world of automation. People don't want automation anymore. They thought it was cool a few years ago. They're like, oh my God, like I get an app. And if this is how your prospect's mind thinks.
I think for the purpose of giving the guys context, what I'd like to kind of go through first is what are the different types of webinars that you can run or that are out there right now. And then more specifically, we're going to go into the automated webinar and what are the two avenues that you can use to strategize with an automation of that webinar. So the first one is obviously you have your live webinars, which you do live. People register for it, you run it on a specific time, day, you run it live, and then you book or sell directly on the webinar into what Lynn is drawing here, your program with bonuses. The bonuses are more of a tactic for them to act now because they're hot, they're ready to buy. The total value is $100 million and you're getting $997 today, but $10,000 tomorrow. So, you want to buy on the day. And then the other version of that is when you automate it. So when you bring someone from your ad to the webinar plays automatically and they can watch it on demand. Basically the Netflix of what your product is about, your marketing, selling them into your program.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? Like when it comes down to this, does this work? Does this work selling fitness? What's your take on it? And what are the problems that you see if it does work? Like what do you think happens when somebody buys something? And then there's the money back, 30-day money back guarantee, all of that stuff, because you're trying to, it's almost, remember that time that we were sitting in Sydney watching the infomercials and we're like, oh, who's going to order this little pendant today? And then they get this bonus and oh my God, ladies, why don't we take this down and you get 2 for 1? And it's almost like a pressure boiler. That's what I feel. And I feel like, our mentor, Russell Brunson, who we spent 2 years with, teaches the perfect webinar. This is automated webinars. I think he's brilliant. I really, really think that if you have a product that's a how-to, then it works. But fitness and coaching and high ticket, in my personal opinion, this doesn't work. And I'm interested in Kerry, why you don't think it works.
Yeah, my initial thought is, first of all, the webinar is the vehicle, right, to the product. And the beautiful thing about the webinar is that it sets up the pre-frame of your program and what you're all about as something that differentiates you from the marketplace, because the marketplace sells fitness and nutrition. When you position yourself in a webinar, you're positioned as an expert. But the thing with actually using that to sell versus using yourself to sell is that it's not pre-framed for them and setting them up with the right expectations of them paying automatically to you $997 versus their expectations of what the actual program, the effort, because the effort to pay for your program was second to none. They could just take out their credit card versus the effort to actually put in the commitment and follow through on the program without a conversation with you one-on-one is going to be very low.
Big one. So when we look at coaching, when you look at high-end online fitness coaching, guys and girls, this is the craziest part of it, is that you don't want to sell people on an offer, on greed, on stacking bonuses. The reason is when they buy, they'll realize all the work that they need to do and they'll go, fuck, this was really hard. I don't want to do this anymore. And so because you get a lack of commitment, you get high churn, you get low retention. You don't get the right people in the community. The cons of this also too, I can add a complete list of cons to this. The fact is you don't have that high with profit margin ad spend, because I don't think you can sell a $9.97 offer with fitness. I actually think it's more like $2.97 to like $6.97 if you're selling pure fitness, which means you don't have a lot of profit. Your profit margins don't actually have to work. So you have to actually be clever with your ads game. You have to be able to write ads. And the reasons why I say it's pros and cons. Pros is the fact that it's automated and the fact that you don't have to sell yourself again. Cons is the fact that it's 90 minutes long, and people have to sit through 90 minutes. And God knows now, like, we live in a world where attention spans is absolutely nothing. So 4 years ago, I could have done this podcast every day, and you know, we have a look at the statistics, the amount of views, the amount of people that watch this and listen to this, and it's like, shit, I would have had 5 times as much content on this live stream, on this podcast itself. Attention spans are going down, which means to get somebody to finish. If you get 100 people that watches your webinar, you're probably going to get like 3 people that stay towards the end, which literally means what? If you might get 1 or 2 buyers, so yeah, your profit margins decrease with that. I don't believe in it, not anymore, not for high ticket online coaching. It's not the model that I choose to run. The reason is we use a very, very strategic model here, and we go, how do you plant the seeds and water the garden? How do you go out there and find your ideal clients, pull them in, see value over small pieces of time, whether they're on Facebook, whether they see you on Instagram, whether they see you inside of a group, whether they see you here. Use paid ads, build them into a webinar, get them to apply, and then nurture them along the way. And it's actually using multiple touch points and not relying on one. The webinar relies on, like, I hear this so much that I didn't even want to say it, but it relies on me meeting Kerry for the first time and going, hey, do you want to have kids? And then I meet 100 carers and they all say no. You know, that's it. Whereas, you know, you want to date, you want to seduce, you want to play the game, you want to go, well, I don't actually need you, Kez. I've got other people. And Kez says, I've got other people too, until we start to mingle and we start to talk, and until I actually show Kerry that I'm the expert and I'm the man that she wants to be with. And then she said, cool, I'm ready to commit. Done. And now with shorter attention spans than ever, it's crazy to see the amount of automation that doesn't work. And I'm going to say this because in 2016, I sold 6-figure online coach for $9.97, whole Russell Brunson style, got a 2-figure 2-comma club award with that. It was working amazing. Like, it was great. Now,
smile on your face.
Oh, for fuck's sake, it was amazing. It was like awesome. We're running it. Now, attention, like, modern day and marketing changes, so you need to adapt with the times, and you need to take that same ecosystem and you need to extend it out and do the opposite of what everybody's doing. But nobody can be fucked. Like, this is the hardest part. Everybody does automated webinars, and so guess what happens? When I look at an automated, I don't sit through an automated webinar. I sit through somebody that gives me a piece of valuable information. I go, oh my God, they know what they're talking about. I might buy something a little bit. I might hit them up on Messenger. I might join their group. I might ask them for a few things. And I'm having that dynamic conversation. And we're moving away from a world of automation. People don't want automation anymore. They thought it was cool a few years ago. They're like, oh my God, like, I get an app. And if this is how your prospect's mind thinks, they go, oh my God, if I had an app and I could track everything, that'd be so cool. Right? 10 years ago. They were like, oh my God, if I could just track all my macros, I would get into shape, and I could track my meal, and I could just have it on my mobile. I don't want to bring my diary. I keep forgetting my diary. That's what they say to themselves. It's the, if this happened, I would get the results. And then it happens. And then it's like, oh wait, no, there's too much technology now. I'm confused with which app to use. And it's just you have to understand human nature. It's just, it's another excuse after another excuse, and it's just a pattern. And I think because there's so much automated stuff online, you go on Facebook, every second ad is an automated webinar, and you want to see something refreshing, you want to see something new, and it's requiring high touch points. But also in my model, I believe in generating applications. I believe in pre-qualifying the sales call with a webinar, with a training, with a 25, 30-minute training, and then I believe closing on commitment. That I take prospects through the 6 Ps, not because I want to sell you on this new opportunity and how easy it's going to be and how amazing you're going to look without doing shit. The 6Ps is like a boiler room where my prospects literally cry because they go, Lina, I'm ready. I'm ready to commit. I can prove it to you. I'm ready to do the fucking work. That's what the 6Ps is. So instead of trying to sell people on the opportunity and how they can get into shape and, everything's going to be dandy, I go, you'll see the results. This is fucking hard. Why do you want this? And it's reverse psychology, which means I get commitment. And if you can get commitment from your client, you don't get clients that sign up with you that are lazy. You don't get clients that sign up with you that have wrong expectations. You reduce that, and therefore you reduce churn, but you increase the results of your program only to fuel your marketing. So marketing starts here, it goes around to sales. If you enroll the wrong person, you're screwed. And if you enroll the right person because you actually set up the expectations with them on the call and you don't sell them on greed, sloth, laziness, and where everyone else is playing, you actually get 3 times, 5 times the results here, build your certainty. You've got now more marketing arsenal to bring out to the marketplace, and then you become that big fish in the pond.
And Alex also mentioned that social creatures, and I think I am trying not to laugh, Dan. I really think that's true for the fact that for so many years businesses were trying to automate, forgetting that the technology doesn't outweigh the fact that we're all social beings.
Connection.
Yeah.
With your prospects is the most important thing, and the idea. So, yeah, go on.
Yeah, I think, well, the thing that I'm really proud of with everyone in our group is that they focus their businesses on client-centric model rather than themselves as the business and what they can do to be more efficient in their business, to make more money in their business on the front end. And for instance, Dan was a perfect example when I saw him in the community, that one of his mums came back after a year of being, and that's what happens when you're always watering the seeds, which is a saying that we like to use inside of our community, that when they can flourish as a prospect, they will commit as a client. Correct. And that client, I bet, is going to be one of Dan's best clients.
Yeah. So you're completely spot on there, because I think the difference between winning, the difference between winning and losing and building a big business and really stepping up is having that relentlessness to do whatever it takes. And right now, whatever it takes isn't automated webinars. Right now, it's actually taking that automated webinar and creating 25 pieces of content, segmenting it, and getting that strategically in front of your prospect, and then delivering way more value to them, and then getting them to book in a call to apply to work with you, and then closing them on commitment on a higher price point than it is to, I'm going to be honest, everybody loves the idea of having something automated that can sell $1,000 product for them. Everybody does. But it doesn't work because everybody is trying to do it, and it all sounds the same.
It's like fitness.
Especially,
everybody wants it to be automated. It's easy for me to get lean and hot, and yeah.
And I say this, the thing that we have in our community is that it doesn't matter what we do, it matters that we do the thing that we know we need to do. We're not going to stay fancy. I don't stay fancy to webinars or Linda's challenges or Linda's this. Everyone thinks that I stay fancy to challenges. You know, when I did the whole 7-day challenge thing in 2014-15, everyone was like, Lynn's the challenge guy. And I'm like, Lynn's just the guy that is going to use whatever works right now to maximize profit and revenue inside of his business. Because whilst everyone can put labels on you, it doesn't matter what works. Like, I will find what works and then go to the next thing. And whether or not it's sales through Messenger and I need to connect with everyone through Messenger, or it's I'm going to put out micro pieces of content on Facebook and then get people to connect and then comment back to them. I'm just trying to figure out what works and what people are responding to because of trends. If sales are not increasing, but people are still buying, where are they buying? People are still buying, but your sales have decreased. So they're buying in some other shape, form, phone, Facebook, messenger chat, your bot. They're buying directly from a referral. The way people buy has changed. And I think drastically to be able to just put up a 90-minute webinar and go, hey, I'm going to scale using this, that's really, really foolish, and that's going to set yourself up for failure. But being able to use a multitude of content marketing and ads to fuel that, and then keep on getting in front of your person with more value and more value and more value, and hyperdense that focus on top of them. That's the only way to win. It's all about micro communities who can build and deliver value. And we were watching this yesterday with Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen? Is that his name?
Godin.
Seth Godin is the marketer. Roden is the actor, right? So Seth Godin was talking about tribes, and he's been talking about tribes for the last 5 years. I have to agree more now than ever. If shit's not working for you, you need to go deeper, not wider. You need to go deeper, not wider.
So no automated webinar to a payment upfront with $9.97 with $100,000 worth of value and all of that. What do you suggest?
Correct. I knew you were going to ask that question.
Instead that they do.
Use some sort of training webinar. You can still have a webinar, but use it as a pre-qualifying process to get somebody onto a call. So when they're booked in a call with you, give that to them to watch first. And if your content's interesting enough, if you're good enough as a presenter, and they feel certain that you're the person that they want to work with, they'll sign up with you. And use it to go, hey, I know we've got a call booked in, but I need you to complete this task first to get yourself on the same page. That's what we use. And then we use a variety of different micro content to get them to book into calls and have that conversation. Now, we can have conversations through Messenger. We can have conversations through ManyChat. We'll have conversations through Zoom. And I will randomly, at times, pick up my phone and give prospects a call, just out of the blue, just to go, hey, I'll use voice message. I'll use things that they haven't seen because I'm different and I'm unique. And it's all about staying ahead of the trend rather than doing things that worked a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Awesome. So I hope these guys watch this video and changes their mind about their automated webinar and scaling with that.
Yeah, for sure. And
not chat to us more about it.
and it's really funny because people want to sell you easy shit. Marketers want to sell you how their system can have you making money and getting clients without having to do anything. But funnily enough, that never works. Funnily enough, it never works. Think about the people that you buy from. Think about the last event that you went to. Think about how much Tony Robbins has branded himself to get you to go to his event, how long you've known him for, how much you've watched of him, where you saw him on Netflix, you watch him on YouTube for motivation, and you see his ad time and time and time again to get you to pull the trigger. That's the span of 3 years. Think about every other person that you bought from properly. I'm not talking about you bought from them because you're looking to be saved, like you saw an opportunity because you're greedy. If you buy because of greed, you'll fail. If you buy because of a quick fix, you'll fail. Think about the people that you actually bought from that delivered an amazing experience. You're like, holy crap, you have to think about it time and time again. Think about the buying cycle and all the effort that they had to put in to get their content in front of you in order for you to buy from them. So most people make the quick sale because they're selling something that appeals to somebody's greed or it appeals to somebody's laziness. And and I've bought shit like that before, it's never worked out for me. I think you bought Skinny Me Talks, Skinny Me Tea Talks.
I know, right? I totally forgot
laziness.
About that.
Never worked out, right? But when you buy something because you logically understand it over the period of time, it takes time, but you're much more happier with that buying experience because remember, it's not about getting a client, it's about keeping clients. And if you sell people on greed and if you sell people on laziness, you get churn and they'll never come back to you. But if you sell people on commitment and hard work, they might leave, but just like you talked about earlier with Dan, they'll come back into the cycle when they go, holy shit, I should have been here. Okay, so it's whether or not you want to build a brand and you want to build a business that lasts 100 years, or you want to make money today uh, for like 2 months, and then you have to try to find the next thing that's working.
Mm. Plus, it's already not working, so have a think about that.
Yeah. It we've tested it, we've tried it, we've definitely done our fair share of testing. I've tested plenty of webinars. I've done hundreds, maybe 150 webinars in total, testing different offers. I tested it back with PV City. It worked for a $497 offer. It worked for a $297 offer. There was no way I was going to sell any more than $1,000 because the person on the other side just doesn't have that money to spend because number one, it's not for greed. And number two, you could promote laziness, but then when they sign on, they'll refund because they realize how much work it takes. And it didn't appeal to greed or laziness or sex, those three things. Right.
I'm also actually curious now that we're kind of going down that route of, I wonder if they're selling coaching on the back end of that. And then what would that process of them onboarding this automated client who have just paid into their system and introducing them and celebrating?
I think it comes down to when you sell an automated webinar, you kind of think that you're selling a product and that they should go through a course. But when we sell high ticket online fitness coaching, we sell high commitment, high responsibility, high support, high accountability, high community, high culture, high fucking everything, because we're trying to get somebody to move, not somebody to consume. I think that's the two differences. But I'd be more than interested to find out as well. Cool.
Great. That was a fun topic.
That was fun. We're going to wrap this up, and plenty more to come over the next couple of days. Before we're off, we're jet setting to San Fran. It's going to be exciting.
That is
all ready. You're packing.
It's good. Not just yet. I'm a last minute packer. So
it's good weather apparently in LA, 99% of the time. So we know what the LA weather is going to be. Get our tan on. Look at me, I'm so pasty. Hopefully this time in a month I'll be more yellow and skinny and golden and brown. But yeah, with that being said, thanks so much for tuning in, and until next time.
Thanks, guys.
Yesterday wasn't easy. I had to say goodbye